You walk into a room. You say nothing, but the energy changes, voices lower, people sit up straighter, someone mid-sentence loses their train of thought. You didn't ask for attention, you didn't demand respect, but you got both anyway. And here's what nobody will ever say to your face: they're not reacting to you. They're reacting to how they feel about themselves when you're around. Today we're going through 9 signs that you intimidate people without knowing it. And by sign 8, everything will make sense in a way it never has before. Most people think intimidation means being aggressive, loud, or cold. It doesn't. The intimidation we're talking about today happens below the surface, before anyone has time to think about it, before they even realize they're doing it. Stay until sign 8. That one will completely change how you see yourself. Sign 1. They go quiet when you enter. You walk in mid-conversation, and the room recalibrates. Voices drop. Tone shifts. People become more careful with every word. Here's why. When someone seems highly capable or important, people naturally adjust around them, not out of fear, out of instinct. Their brain registers, this person carries weight. Pay attention. The room didn't go quiet because you're scary. It went quiet because you matter. And on some level, everyone already knows it. Sign 2. They can't hold eye contact. They look away quickly. They check their phone. They find something, anything, more interesting than holding your gaze. Here's what that actually means. Eye contact requires feeling equal to someone. When someone can't hold yours, it means on some level they don't feel equal. Not because you've done anything to make them feel that way, but because your presence alone asks more of them than they feel ready to give. They're not being rude. They're protecting themselves. Sign 3. They over-explain themselves. You said nothing. You didn't question them. You didn't even look at them sideways. But they're already justifying their choices, why they were late, why they did it that way, why they made that decision. You didn't ask, but they answered anyway. Here's what's happening. They've built a version of you in their head, a version with impossibly high standards, and they're defending themselves against that version, not against you. Your silence felt like a verdict, so they started explaining before the sentence was even delivered. Sign 4. They never push back. Think about the last time someone told you, genuinely, directly, that you were wrong. Not softened, not sugar-coated, actually wrong. If that's hard to remember, this sign is for you. Over time, people around a strong presence stop offering resistance. Not because they always agree, because disagreeing with you feels like it costs more than staying silent. But here's what makes this uncomfortable. You're not getting honest feedback anymore. You're getting agreement, and agreement without honesty is just a polite form of distance. The absence of conflict isn't always peace. Sometimes it's just quiet intimidation. Sign 5. They fidget around you. Tapping fingers, adjusting clothes, shifting weight, clicking pens. Watch for this one, because most people never connect it to intimidation. When someone feels nervous energy around a person they perceive as powerful, their body needs somewhere to put it. So it leaks out in small movements. They're not bored. They're not distracted. They're trying to hold themselves together, and their body is quietly giving them away. The first 5 signs were about what people do around you. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. The next 3 signs aren't about behavior. They're about what your presence triggers deep inside someone, in places they don't even have words for yet. Sign 6. They try to impress you. The achievements come out. The name dropping. The carefully placed accomplishments slipped into conversation like they're casual. They're not performing for the room. They're performing for you. When someone perceives a gap between who they are and who you seem to be, they instinctively try to close it. They want you to see that they're worthy, that they measure up, even though you never asked them to prove a single thing. That need to impress you? That's not about you being hard to please. That's about them being afraid they already don't. Sign 7. They never share their problems with you. People come to you for advice, for answers, for direction, but they never come to you falling apart. They never show you the mess, the doubt, the 2am version of themselves that doesn't have it together. Here's why. When someone intimidates you, you don't bring them your weakness, you bring them your best. Because somewhere in your mind, showing your worst to that person feels like a risk you can't afford. This is one of the loneliest signs on this list. Not for them, for you, because the person who intimidates everyone is often the person nobody truly lets in. Sign 8. They get defensive before you even respond. You ask a perfectly simple question. Neutral tone. No edge, nothing loaded. and they respond like they're defending themselves in court. Here's the truth. And this is the part that changes everything. They are not intimidated by you. They are intimidated by the version of themselves they see when they stand next to you. Your presence, your clarity, your stillness, your standards acts like a mirror. And when people look into that mirror, they see the gap between who they are and who they know they should be. That gap is uncomfortable, painful even. So they react to it, and you're just standing there when it happens. You didn't trigger them. Their own reflection did. Psychologists call this the mirror effect, and once you understand it, you'll stop taking other people's defensiveness personally, because it was never really about you. It was always about them. Sign 9. They later admit they had you wrong. Weeks later. Sometimes months. I thought you'd be really difficult to work with. I was honestly so nervous to talk to you at first. I judged you way before I actually knew you. That is the most honest thing an intimidated person will ever say to you. They're confessing that your presence alone constructed an entire person in their mind, more demanding, more intense, more significant than you ever claimed to be. And when they finally got close enough to see the real you, they realized the version they feared was never you at all. That's not their fault. That's just what real presence does to people. So here's what all 9 signs are actually telling you. You carry something, an energy that shifts rooms, that makes people adjust without knowing why, that makes them want to earn something you never even put on the table. That is not a problem. That is presence. But there is one mistake, one specific thing that people like you consistently do that quietly pushes away the exact people you want closest. And most never realize they're doing it until the damage is already done. That's the next video. And if that sounds like something you need to hear, subscribe, because that one might be the most important video on this channel.